It's funny how the parties of business are pretty keen not to honour contracts, eh? Like whether it's Treaty of Waitangi or whether it's this, it's like these guys who are all about business, they don't seem to take contracts very seriously, do they? Or
And the
agreements.
fairies, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Another one. On and on. We are thinking where to from here. Like TVNZ gave this 48 seconds tonight, which seems a bit of a slap in the face. And I know Chewie's probably, you've got the graphic there you want to bring up, hey Chewie, to remind people. But where to from here, Julianne? It feels like one of these things that we shouldn't and can't let go. But what will happen in a especially mainstream media cycle is they will start to, then if it bleeds, it leads. The next bleeding thing will come up on Monday and it'll be something else, and then it'll be something else, and then it'll be the budget. And then this will be us having to go, now what are the lists of things we were angry about? And it'll have gone into the background if we don't keep reminding people about it, like we have, thankfully, for those ferries. Those ferries haven't gone away. So what's next, Julianne?
Yeah, I think the unions are really being active and organizing, and clearly the Labour Party and the Green Party very supportive. And I think that there's so many different professions affected by the cancellation of the claims that affects hundreds of thousands of people, many of whom are like essential workers and are working in sectors where there's, they're already having a hard time. They're being stretched. They're being asked to do more with less. So I think it will be easy to keep reminding people of this, but we'll have to keep bringing it up and finding those stories. But, it's sort of like every time the ferries break down now, there's a story about it. And I guess, with the stress and strain in the health sector, and in education. This directly affects health and education. And those are two really important public sectors that are, I think, going to be a big issue for voters. And I think it's been really hard for National to say they've delivered. And particularly with ACT and the school lunches debacle, it's one more thing, where I think teachers and principals, a lot of principals will be on side with this because they know that their teachers aren't paid enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they can't pay them more because they're not the ones responsible for determining the pay.
It really is a flood the zone of bullshit, isn't it? I mean, you just put up lunches and like we've been on that lunch thing for a long time, but that didn't even pop into my head around this conversation. There is just so much that this government is attacking or tearing apart or making worse. And it's unrealistic of us to think about the media, mainstream media in particular, to keep on top of all of it, because there is just so much. You could do One News could do an hour show every single night on what's going on at the moment in that cabinet room on the 9th floor.
And that would, I think, we'd have a much better democracy if we had, properly funded independent journalism that could take the time to delve into these things.
Yeah. No, we agree, Julianne. What we hear you saying is Patreon for our Big Hearing News. We hear that as well. Yeah, we get alongside that. Yeah. I picked it up. No, I'm just kidding.